Alright, so this is going to be a video comparing the different versions of the Tone Bender Fuzz. I'm going to put a link in the description so you can skip ahead to me actually playing so you don't have to listen to me ramble on. So the Tone Bender trademark is owned by the MKIIs. There's two MKI, I think they're brothers. It's Anthony and Steve, and they own MKII's music in England. I think the only reason that JMI and British Pedal Company are allowed to use the Tone Bender trademark is because JMI originally owned Vox, and Vox made tone benders, and British Pedal Company and JMI are the same company. So the first commercially produced fuzz pedal was the Maestro fuzz tone, made by Gibson, and I think that started production in 1962. And then so skip forward to 1965, and a guy named Gary Hurst tweaked a Maestro fuzz tone to have more sustain, and it was called the Mark I Tone Bender, and it was sold under the Sola Sound company name, which Sola Sound was owned by Larry and Joe MKI, who were the original MKI and Sola Sound owners. So after that Mark I, you get early versions of the Mark II, which had the same case as this, but it had a different circuit in it, and it was called the Mark 1.5 circuit. Well, that's what we call it today, and it's basically a fuzz face. People think that the Mark 1.5 came out first, though, before the Arbiter fuzz face. And so that came out in 1966. And then after the Mark 1.5, you get the Tone Bender Mark II. And then after the Tone Bender Mark II, you got Mark III Tone Benders. This is an emanating fist electronics Super Alpha Overdrive, but it's a Mark III circuit. And after the Mark III, you get the Mark IV, which is the same circuit as a Mark III. And then the Mark IV was when they started doing that, like, BAM! Batman logo style fuzz with the orange coloring behind it. That first came about when they came out with the Mark IV. After that, you have the Super Tone Bender, which I don't have a Super Tone Bender. It's basically a big muff minus a few parts. And then after the Super Tone Bender comes the Jumbo Tone Bender, which this is a bum fuzz unit, which is the same circuit as a Jumbo Tone Bender. Alright, so if you've made it this far into the video, if you like this or find it helpful, if you could like the video or share it, or, I don't know, tell your buddies who like fuzz about it. And if you could check out my other videos and subscribe, that would be cool. I mean, if you don't want to do any of that, that's also fine, but I'm not, rock and roll vintage or just Nick. I don't have a following. I'm not going to get a lot of views on this. But if you can gain anything from this, it's take every pedal demo that you hear with a grain of salt. You could have two Tone Bender Mark IIs, even both made by the same company, and they could sound different. Every part that goes into this, capacitor value, resistor value, how you bias it, the kind of transistors you use, all of that is going to change how a fuzz pedal sounds. Another thing, you don't have to spend $500 to get the damn Tone Bender Mark II to have a good sounding Mark II. I love Damn, and I have a few pedals by them, and no offense to them, but if you can find these, this is a Mark II Professional by Acid Fuzz, and this thing is fucking incredible. And this was $240, which is still out of some people's price point, but you can find these used maybe for $200 if you can find them used. But so just take everything with a grain of salt. So here, this is the LIC Pedals Mark I. This is an Analogman Sunbender Mark 1.5. This is a Damn Professional Mark II. This is an emanating fist electronics Super Alpha Overdrive, which is a Mark III made by Damn. And then this is a Sola Sound bum fuzz unit, which is also made by Damn. So I'm playing straight HSS. Sorry if that got a little out of hand. And it's going into a Hot Rod Deluxe. Here's the humbucker and the bridge. Alright, take two. The first time I tried to do that, it took 12 minutes. I'm going to try and make it a little more brief than that. So I'm going to just leave the settings where they are and run through them really quick on that humbucker and the bridge. The fuzz is turned all the way up for all those. Tone is all the way up on the Jumbo because that has the most treble while still having a lot of low end. And then treble is about here on the Mark III. This attack knob is just a bias, so I have it not turned all the way up, but to where I'm getting a decent amount of fuzz. So yeah, humbucker in the bridge. Gonna go to the single coil in the neck now. Back to the humbucker in the bridge. So Mark I, it's a full-on fuzz, and it's kind of sizzly, kind of fizzles, especially if you turn this knob down. Mark 1.5, this got a nice amount of low end, unless you're playing a Vox style Mark 1.5, because those are a little more raspy and a bit brighter. And then this cleans up really nice with your guitar's volume. This one doesn't really clean up. Mark II, it's got more fuzz than this, but it's not as crazy as a Mark I. And then this cleans up alright with your guitar's volume. Not like this, but it still cleans up. This is a super saturated fuzz, and you can get a shit ton of treble out of it with the tone knob. And then this guy, it's got a huge amount of low end, even when you turn the tone all the way up. So this would be really good for bass. And then the fuzz, it's not like super saturated like this. I don't know how to describe it. You just have to listen to it and take it in. But I'm going to show how they clean up with your guitar's volume now. On that humbucker in the bridge. I'm at about 6.5 on the volume, and I'm just going to keep it the same for all the fuzzes. the same, and then go from 6.5 on the volume to all the way up on the guitar's volume, starting with this and coming over here. Yeah, those are the tone benders.